Gurumata, last time you said the brain keeps creating the character called Arav. But who exactly is watching all this happen inside?
That is where the mystery deepens. Neuroscience searched the brain for a central controller, a tiny person inside the head managing thoughts, decisions, emotions, and experiences. But no such center was found. Only networks, communicating with other networks.
Wait, then who is making decisions?
Let us observe directly. Before a thought appears, do you know what your next thought will be?
No, this can't be true. I don't seem to have any real control over my thoughts. I can't even predict what my next thought will be, let alone choose it.
Yet the thought still appears, doesn't it? Without asking your permission. You never chose the next thought before it arrived. So tell me, the one who claims, I decide everything. Is that also just another thought appearing on its own?
Wait, so my mind is basically a random notification machine?
Exactly. Neuroscience uncovered something almost comical about the human mind. In many experiments, the brain begins preparing an action before the person becomes consciously aware of deciding anything. First, the neural activity starts. Then a little later comes the grand announcement. I made that decision. So, the ego is like a politician cutting the ribbon at a bridge. After thousands of workers already built it. Late to the process. But first to take the credit.
So basically, Arav signs the approval file after the work is already completed. Even though the entire operation ran perfectly without his approval in the first place? So, the ego is basically a political leader of the inner world? Only slogans and no real action?
Exactly. When things go well, it says, under my visionary leadership, success was achieved. When things fall apart, it immediately forms a committee called unfortunate circumstances. But if you watch closely, life was already moving before the speech began.
This feels strangely familiar. When I'm deeply playing a video game, Arav completely disappears. There's only reaction, movement, focus, everything happening instantly on its own. But the moment I win, suddenly the inner politician appears. I did it. And if I make a mistake, what's wrong with me? But now that I look carefully, during the actual game, there was barely any Arav there at all. Life was simply happening too fast for a controller to exist.
Exactly. The ego takes credit for everything. But watch closely, when you are fully absorbed, life simply happens on its own. Breathing happens. Thoughts happen. Actions happen. And Arav is absent. Only afterward does the inner politician appear shouting, I did it. I failed. Ironically, there is barely any doing, but only happening. The ego is not the doer. It is the spokesperson arriving after the event. We'll explore this spokesperson deeper in our next meeting. Until then, stay alert and observe carefully when Arav appears and disappears.